Friend, today I shall be speaking of one of my favorite pastime, reading. I am fond of reading even though I must admit that my favorite reading material consists of newspapers and magazines. Since my childhood, I have a habit of reading newspapers and my father introduced me to a lot of magazines for children and teenagers. Now, in the summer of 2022, when the world is witnessing military conflict in Ukraine and rapid rise of China in our neighborhood, I still rely upon the old fashioned manner of getting news by reading newspapers and news magazines. I do read newspapers and journals on the internet, but the pleasure of reading the hard copy in physical paper is really enjoyable. I regularly read newspapers ranging from Times of India to the Telegraph. I also read lot of magazines including India Today, Reader's Digest, Time magazine and my favorite National Geographic. I do occasionally read Cosmopolitan, Vogue, Femina and many magazines in Bengali language. Currently I am going through today's newspapers like the Telegraph and the Hindu. You must have heard the famous quotation that there is no news like bad news. I remember watching James Bond in the 1997 movie Tomorrow Never Dies. In that movie, the main antagonist Elliot Carver challenged James Bond and famously commented that a newspaper or a news channel can actually act like an weapon in the hand of a conqueror like Julius Caesar or Napoleon Bonaparte. I love newspapers and even though I spend lot of time browsing the internet, I do read a lot. Obviously, I have to find a time to read especially after attending my daily duties And I must admit that reading is a great way of driving away your stress. As I'm showing you today's newspapers and recent magazines, I have a request for you. Please mention names of your favorite newspapers and magazines in the comment section, and also let me know whether you want more such videos in future. India Today has emerged as the finest news magazine in India, and this latest issue is simply splendid. The rating of premier educational institutes in this country makes for very interesting reading. I have a huge collection of current affairs magazine, and I also collect National Geographic. Nowadays, National Geographic magazine is easily available from news magazine vendors. But even a few years back, it was an almost rare magazine. I have been collecting National Geographic for last 21 years. I love the paper quality of this classic magazine and I admire their world-class editorial. National Geographic magazine is the ultimate guide for anyone interested in history and geography of this planet and beyond. I enjoyed reading this issue and I am looking forward to more such beautiful issues. Nowadays, newspapers have wider reach thanks to the e-paper publication on internet. However, as a tech enthusiast, I cannot deny that I am concerned about the effect of long hours of mobile and computer usage. It is not a healthy practice to look at your mobile phone screen or your computer screen for a very long period of time. আমি প্রত্যেকদিন বাংলা পত্রিকাও অনেকগুলো পড়ি। বাংলা ম্যাগাজিন পড়েও আমার খুব ভালো সময় কাটে। I also regularly read the Week magazine, and I enjoyed reading this issue on presidential candidate Srimati Draupadi Murmu. This magazine has presented an in depth study of the achievement of this great achiever from Orissa, who is a former governor of Jharkhand. I know that in this age of digital news and e papers, hard copy of newspapers and news magazines may not have a massive popularity. However, it is clear that the print medium is here to stay, and there are people like me who enjoy their morning tea with the daily newspaper. I shall call it a day now, but I assure you that I shall be back very soon. Let me know your choice of journals and newspapers. Goodbye.